Hi everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today I am in the kitchen to share with you a recipe. So this is a recipe for my favorite homemade salsa. I like to call it my smoking hot salsa because it has a little bit of a smoky flavor to it. You can obviously adjust it and make it how you like, but what we're going to need to start with is some kind of a fruit processor or chopper. So I'm going to use the small attachment on my Ninja because that works for me, and some basic tools, chopping board and a knife. Let me grab the knife, hold on. And what else? And I just got done chopping up some other onions and vegetables, so that's fine. Let's go through the ingredients, okay? And I will list these down below. I'm trying to be the right height so you can see me and see the ingredients, and I'm too tall for that. So, all right, so you are going to need a juice of a lemon, a handful of fresh cilantro or whatever amount you like, a small onion coarsely chopped, so I have half of an onion here, we're going to use that, and a large jalapeno pepper, so I've got a pack of those from Aldi, or 2 medium, and you're going to chop and seed those. Now of course if you like a lot of spice, you want to leave some seeds in, you could do that. I think that there's enough spice from the smoked chipotle pepper in Adobo Sauce, so I don't add any jalapeno seeds, but that's up to you. A teaspoon of sugar, some oil, I use olive oil, or right now I have some organic sunflower oil out, that's what we're using. Like I mentioned, the smoked chipotle pepper in Adobo Sauce, they come in a little can and I'm down to the last one. I usually just store them in an airtight container in the fridge till I go through them. A large green pepper, and what I do is I buy the 3-pack of green peppers from Aldi. As soon as I get home, I wash all 3, chop them up, and put them in my freezer. So right off the bat, I'm going to put that in here so I can put the bag back in the freezer, but roughly a third of this, and you can do as much or as little of any of these ingredients to your liking. Let's see, 10 jarred jalapeños, so I'm down to the last little bit of my, can you see that, jarred, just whatever jarred jalapeños you have on hand. And you're also going to need 3 tablespoons of the juice from that jar. What else? A tablespoon of chopped garlic. I think I'm going to use about 3 cloves of garlic, half a teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, and that's it. And you just basically blitz it all in there and you're done. So let's go ahead and get this started. So I have my green pepper in there. I'm going to grab a handful of cilantro. And I'm making this for, and I like a lot of cilantro, so this is a good handful, which is what I like. But you can do it however you like. I'm making this for a Super Bowl party. Oh, and the last thing I don't know if I mentioned is the fire roasted diced tomatoes. That's important too. Sorry, I think I skipped over those, but we'll use those in a minute. So my onion, I'm just going to put chunks of it in there. I think I could use all this up, but I am going to chop it into some bigger chunks. Okay, just to use that up. Let's do our lemon juice. So I have my lemon. I'm just going to use this to catch the seeds. There's 1/2 and the other half. Okay, put that in my compost here. All right, and then I'll go ahead and do my jalapeno pepper. Give that a quick wash. Okay, and this is not my recipe. I got it from a friend. The only thing I've added is the, let me bring this over so I have it where I need it. So the smoked chipotle pepper in Adobo Sauce, that was not in the original recipe. So that's sort of my take on this recipe. So I'm going to get my jalapeno seeded, and as you know, when you're chopping jalapenos, you can wear gloves, which is ideal. I'm kind of in a hurry and don't have gloves on hand. What I'm going to do is take my Jordan Essentials lemon salt scrub that's at the kitchen sink and just make sure I scrub my hands really well when we're done. These just need to be in some big chunks, not a lot of chopping there, but that will, between the salt and the lemon, that will get off the jalapeno oil that's on my hands, so that's important. Okay, now let's get down to garlic. Get that peeled. 1, 2, 3, maybe we'll do 4. Kind of depends on how much garlic you like. And this is really good, you know, of course with chips. To me, it's kind of like a cross between a good homemade salsa and good restaurant salsa. It's sort of the best of both worlds, I think, because I like restaurant salsa's texture, but it's never spicy enough for me. And this has some good spice to it, but it's a little easier to make, I think, than chopping up everything more like a pico de gallo. So, all right, so I've got 3 cloves of garlic in there. That one is too small to mess with. Okay, and I'm trying to do this quickly because it's almost time to get my daughter from school. So onward we go. So since I'm down to the end of my jar, I'm just going to add what I got. It calls for 10 of the jalapeno slices plus the 3 tablespoons of juice from the jar. And I don't know if that was 3 tablespoons, but it's all I've got. So we're going to go with that. It was probably a good tablespoon. I'm not sure if it was 3, but let's see. Here's our teaspoon of oil or so, and teaspoon of salt, right? Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'll take that down a little bit. Teaspoon of sugar. Oh no, that's what I needed, was the teaspoon of sugar, sorry. Okay, then a half a teaspoon of salt, and doesn't call for any pepper, so I'm good there. 1/4 teaspoon of the crushed red pepper. I'm just going to give it a good shake. That should be about 1/4. As you can see, this is not an exact science. And I have about 2 chipotle peppers in here, but not a whole lot of sauce. I'm just going to put them both in, and it'll spice this up and use these up because I have been keeping them in the fridge for a little while. It's time to get them used up. The last thing is the tomatoes. So typically what I do is pulse all this a few times to get it really ground up, and I'll pour it out into a different bowl or container and then drain most of the liquid from my tomatoes in with the other ingredients, and then just put the chunks of tomatoes in the food processor at the end, because otherwise it's real liquidy. And once you've got those tomatoes pureed, then you can pour them back in and just mix together all your ingredients. So hold on, I'm gonna see if I can't get you set up closer to my outlet, and then you can see me do my magic with the food processor. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I've got all my ingredients in the little Ninja here, the mini Ninja, and we're gonna, if I can get it on there we go. Get that going. Looks pretty good. Yep, I think I have just a few pieces of cilantro that got wrapped around there, so let me give it one more quick pulse. All right, I think that is good. Let me get a bowl and we will pour this out. Oh, let's see, where's the bowl? Hold on. Okay, you were right in the way of the bowls, so I had to move you. All right, let me get my little spatula here. So, and keep that in there. This is what it's looking like now. So that's all my green stuff in there, and spices and whatnot. Okay, very finely chopped, that's fine. And I'll get my can of fire roasted tomatoes and see if I can't use the lid to kind of drain off a lot of the liquid. Just so it's not so liquidy. Okay, that's that. And these can go in here. Okay. We'll give that a quick pulse to get those tomatoes chopped up. And those don't need to be super puree. That's probably plenty right there. Okay, now we'll just stir it all together. And this is my smoking hot salsa. Definitely has a good kick to it. If you want to just eliminate that adobo, the smoked chipotle and adobo sauce, you can totally eliminate it and even take out the crushed red pepper and make it a lot more mild, or at least a medium. But I like it hot, and usually when I take it to parties I make it hot, and most people like it, or the ones that like hot like it. So that's that. All right, so I'm just gonna get that stirred together. I know it doesn't look like anything great, but I'm telling you, it tastes delicious. So, all right, so that is my smoking hot salsa. Yum. I'll get a chip in a minute and give it a try. All right, and thanks for joining me today, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below and let me know if you like to see recipe videos and what else I should share with you, any of my recipes you've heard me mention. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great one. Bye-bye.